Hello, everyone. Holly here from Recall Radio Podcast. And I am actually just wanting to send a video out there just as a testimony of what I witnessed last night at a board meeting, my very first board meeting I ever went to, Fresno Unified School District. And this meeting started at 6. Okay, it was downtown, got there at 5:46. And my first time experiencing this. So I went because I want to get more involved with some of the things that are happening in our community and our, education. So, I mean, yesterday for me, it was just more, I wanted to observe, I wanted to see how, it ran and what was all involved. So anyways, I was shocked. I just want you to know that I was absolutely left there, mouth dropped to the floor. I couldn't believe just the out of touch board members that I witnessed. I sat in the back. I didn't speak or anything. Like I said, I was there to just really observe and learn. And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I find it hard to believe that it is just me because there were a lot of people there. There were a lot of parents there. There were a lot of students there. There were a lot of residents there. One of the topics that was on their agenda, which I, haven't been involved with, so I can't really speak about that very much. However, what I witnessed regarding this topic was absolutely unacceptable. Whatever their reasons are, doesn't matter because there's no excuse. There's never an excuse for rudeness or just ugly, just an ugly presentation. And shame on those board members. And I'm talking about every single one of them. Okay. So I guess there's an elementary school here locally that is named Faulkner Elementary, okay? Been like that, I guess, from what I understand for, I don't know, years, Apparently it's become a racist school. That's what I learned last night. So they want to change the name, okay? So they want to change it to an Armenian man, Roger Tatarian, I think is his name. Not sure, not really interested, but the approach that was taken last night, the message that was sent last night from the people of Faulkner and also the Armenian community that was there, along with the board, who I honestly, I felt like I was in the Hunger Games because it was a panel of dictators. That's all I saw, just dictators. They didn't really care what you had to say. They stated clearly in their agenda, and I'll show you that in a minute, but I didn't know what to expect. So when the topic of discussion came up, I don't know, item number blah blah blah, I mean, the meeting started at 6. I didn't leave till 9:53 and they were still going. To me, that's just disorganized. Sorry, but there's a way to handle things, and it's clear that the board members have been doing this for a long time. You could tell, they're totally burnt out. I don't know if people understand what that looks like, but I know what it looks like. I've been burnt out before it happens. I get it. However, the disconnect that they have with the community is just outrageous. And I witnessed last night, parents and students were fighting for the name to stay the way it is. And if anything, they were willing to negotiate to meet us halfway. Maybe it's something that they can change later on, but timing is really bad. The kids just got back in school. It is detrimental, and too many changes are happening too quickly. And when it comes to our education and our children, that's something that's very dear to me. I have spent a lot of time just learning and seeing and observing. And like I said, this was a mind-blowing experience for me. So their agenda item clearly states, and I'll show you, the on this agenda item B14, discuss and approve, okay, renaming of the Faulkner Elementary School, right? So when I saw that, I just assumed that was something that they've been talking about, which it was relevant last night. However, the parents that were there to fight for the name to stay the same were clearly bringing up, topics and of discussion about why they weren't involved with this process. Apparently, this is something that the board has already agreed on. I mean, their agenda kind of already states that they're going to discuss and approve. So they weren't there for a vote. They weren't there to hear anything, even though there were 14 speakers that got up from the audience that spoke on it, begging the board to please reconsider, to table it for a later date, that, for whatever reasons that they wanted to make this change, they couldn't really understand because they weren't involved in the process. And these are residents of Faulkner, area. So, I mean, this is a school that's been there for, I don't know, since the early 1900s. But my question is, how do you handle something like that when you're in a setting of, I don't know, there must have been at least 70 people there, when everybody is basically sitting there it's already been decided according to their agenda. They were going to discuss and approve, okay? Discuss and approve, says it right here, discussed and approved the renaming. So why were all these people there? Why were they there if the board isn't going to really hear them out? Because they didn't. I mean, it's very clear. You're watching the board, and I wish I had taken some video of that. There were cameras rolling, and I don't know who was there. It's obviously a news network or something, and I'll talk about that too. But what I heard was just a bunch of games being played up there. These board members already knew their decision. They didn't care. They didn't care about what the residents and the students and the parents were saying about, their opinion about this. They didn't care. They didn't even acknowledge. They didn't give them eye contact. Everybody's, doing this and writing, and, then they're up there giggling. I mean, it was like, I had never experienced a meeting like this. And I've been to a lot of meetings, okay? I've been to a lot of meetings. I've never experienced the childness and the immaturity of these people, these adults that are running our school board. Unbelievable, okay? So when they were, voting, you had the theatrics play out. You had one, maybe we could table it, maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that. And then and then you got the Kamala Harris's, because that's what I saw, was just a bunch of Kamala Harris's just cackling, just unrealistic, just going on about their business. Well, it turned out that they all ended up after, I don't know, 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes of just theatrics. We're voting yay. Okay, yay, yay, yay. Everybody voted yay, yay, yay. And the parents were so upset and the children were crying. I mean, it was like a movie. And all I heard at that moment was, we need to stop the racism in our schools. That's why we're doing it. That was coming from the board member. I can't remember which one. Valerie Davis stood out because she actually stood up and said, we own that property. We bought that school and we can do whatever we want. And I just was like blown away. And the parents, like I said, were just shattered. And to me, that's just unprofessional. Okay, unprofessional, unacceptable, ugly, just an ugly, ugly person making a very ugly statement. So not only was I surrounded by BLM members, okay, or whatever they were just a bunch of Black men that were sitting around in that, you know, as part of the group that was there and wearing their BLM shirts. And it was really odd. You know, you even had people that were employees of the school district and wearing their Black Pride, you know, fist shirts. And I thought, wow, this is like a movie. So I heard, long story short, all I heard was white trash. Okay, I heard the words white trash come out of somebody's mouth. I heard, you know, I saw and heard the board member, Valerie Davis, stand up and scream, "We own that property. We bought that property. We will do what we want with that property," to the parents and the kids. Okay. At that point, I lost total respect for the board because that was allowed. Then you have the president, Bob Nelson, sitting at the end, not even tuned in. He's just doing this. I don't know about you, but that doesn't work for me. So what I'm asking is for people to get involved. So after I get home, you know, my wonderful, beautiful mom, who just loves her mainstream media news, boom, there it is. There it is. You know, there's the news talking about Fresno Unified's school board meeting. And I thought, oh, whoa, I want to see what they say because I was just there. I just left there. Now, mind you, in the middle of the board meeting, I ended up taking a break and walking out to the hall. We're out in the hall, they have, you know, the screen and where you can physically see and hear what's going on inside the room. So I was sitting there for hours and I just wanted to get up. So I'm out there in the hall and I hear the door open. This gentleman comes out. You could tell he was part of the camera crew, okay? And I could hear him on the phone. I even recorded it. Okay, I got it right here. So I just wanted to hear what they were saying because his responses were, I wasn't able to capture it. I got there too late. Oh, he's up next. We'll be sure to get all that. Well, at the end of the agenda, and I'll show that to you, at the end of the agenda, we have Terry Sladek. You know, the topic is Terry Sladek, right? So he's at the very end of this long old agenda and right here to discuss and consider adoption resolution. Okay, I don't even know what that means. I just assumed, you know, it's something for Terry because, you know, they're all after Terry because Terry speaks the truth. He's putting them on blast. He's opening up a lot of minds. And apparently, from what I understand, the whole resolution is that they feel threatened. The board members feel threatened that he's there. Well, he's the only elected one there. So people put him there and for good reason. Okay, so I don't see him going anywhere. And the whole beef last night about him was, why is the school board paying $250,000? Okay, $250,000 that they're spending to investigate Terry Sladek. Terry Sladek is an elected board member. Yes, he's not on their team. It's very clear. He is bringing more and more light to what's really happening in our school system from a Fresno Unified School District standpoint. So they don't like him. I understand that. But do we have to spend $250,000 to do an investigation that he'd be more than willing to give them any information that they want to know? Okay, it's just, I call it harassment because they want him accompanied by somebody that will walk with him when he goes into, you know, the board meeting. I mean, it's like, I feel like I'm in like third grade, you know? So anyways, that was that was the last topic. And when I got home and saw the news, they only showed Terry. They only showed out of that whole 3.5 hour meeting, Terry Sladek. And I thought, wow, that's impressive. You know, we had this big blowout from the Faulkner Elementary decision that was already pre-decided before the meeting, even probably sometime last week when they put the agenda together. So you had all these upset parents, you know, again, screaming and just hysterical from the board members. I mean, it is just kind of ridiculous. And that's what the news reported was Terry Sladek. Like, is he the top topic now at Fresno Unified School District? Because I could, just listening last night, there's a lot of topics. So Fresno Unified School District spent a lot of time talking about how they're going to spend their new $387 million budget that they just got approved for, that they're going to get. So there was a lot of, oh, well, maybe we should do this. I mean, like I said, Kamala Harris, okay, all day long, just all day long. Valerie, Tisha, or whoever. I mean, the board members up there were ridiculous. And for Bob Nelson, sorry, Bob, but you got to do a better job if you can, you know, handle the tricks that are going up there. Okay. If you're the president, you need to manhandle the mouths that are up on that board, because it is an embarrassment. You should be ashamed of yourself. Fresno Unified should be ashamed. And I think I'd like to see an audit of where their money's been going, who it's been spent on, if they're willing to spend $250,000 on an investigation that's going to tell them what, something they already know. They don't like him. Okay. So that's just, and then 500,000. Okay. $500,000, $500,000 that they're spending to change the mascot of Fresno High School, because it's racist. Their whole theme, their whole message was, we have racism and it needs to stop. And you're going to stop it by taking out Aunt Jemima, Uncle Ben. You're going to stop it by this. You know, the first thing I would do is stop talking about it. That's how you stop it. And I'm sorry for all those people that really feel like that racism is the #1 problem in our country. Because if that's all you're worried about, wow, you really are living a dream. So I'm just going to say, get involved. I plan on attending the next meeting again, October 27th at the Fresno Unified School District downtown on Tulare. If you can't find it, you know, email us, volunteerfresno@gmail.com. We'll send it to you. But get involved, because there's a lot of things that are going on in these meetings that are not being talked about on the news. I can tell you right now firsthand. I came home last night and was just blown away. I could not believe the shit show that I witnessed. And they justify it. That's even better. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. We have a very sick society right now. And if the people that want to see things change for the better don't get up and actually physically do something about it, it's never going to change. I will be there at the next meeting and I'll keep you posted. Look out for a video. I will be putting together a video about what I witnessed last night out of a few recordings that I got. Like I said, the keywords I heard were white trash, Nazi. This is all coming from the board. Okay. Racism is a problem and we're not going to tolerate it. We're going to stop it. Oh, and the LGBTQQQQ. That's another big issue in school. It's a very sad time that these people really think they're doing a righteous job by spending millions of dollars on bullshit. Basically just bullshit. They're totally out of touch with their students. I heard so many teachers that were up there going, we need more time with our students. We cannot teach this way. They never looked up from their phone. They never acknowledged them that they were even speaking until their 2 minutes was up. That's really pathetic. And I really hope that the board members are watching this, because you should probably find another career or another job or somewhere else that you can poison the minds of those because you're not poisoning mine. And I will do everything I can to make sure that you are exposed. Total shame. I always do this.